Hello and welcome to 2021. Good riddance 2020. We will not miss you. I'm Mark and I'm with Treadstone Climbing Gym and Treadstone Structures. Our two companies, our climbing gym is in Georgia, and then Treadstone Structures we build all over. We have a West Coast office. We build all over New York and everywhere else. A base camp in Kentucky, and then kind of an outpost, I'd call it, in Kenya, which is really cool. We've been out there for about 20 years. So, had a lot of fun, even during all of this craziness from the past year. We've actually stayed really busy, which is one of the reasons that some of these video products that I've had in my head haven't really come to fruition. But that's my personal resolution for the companies this year. We do have the tools that we need, the software, the cameras, the microphones, all that. We've done all that now, and we have the things we need to get it off the ground in any case. And we'll go full Monty with it at some point, I guess, and just evolve as we go. But that's what I really want to do this year is make sure all of that stuff consistently happens. All the posting, the social media stuff. Treadstone Climbing is on YouTube. I'm looking at possibly doing a migration to Rumble, but I'm not sure yet. But I'm still doing some research on that. But the couple of things that you guys probably already know about, but if you don't, this is where to start, is my website is marksbasecamp.com, and that's Mark with a C, marksbasecamp.com. So that's where I just put anything that I want to. It's mostly company related. Well, it's all company related, but it's more freeform than the official website at treadstoneclimbing.com. I don't have any editors. I don't have any IT people telling me that that's not the kind of content we want to do there. I can do whatever I want. But don't worry, it's fine. It's going to be fine. We're going to get through this. But I want to tell you first about that. Most of the stuff that I want you to know about is already at marksbasecamp.com, and what is not there is over on treadstoneclimbing.com. So what you'll find there, first and foremost, that I want you to know about is a thing that we call at our climbing gym the path. And the path is just our intentional workout tracking program that we've written for you to use. It involves WODs that we write for you that are appropriate to your climbing level and your fitness level, because it's not just climbing. You could be any kind of a gym and use our system that we call the path. You could be a weight training gym, a CrossFit gym, functional fitness gym, any kind of gym, a gymnastics center, what have you, aquatic center. It would work for all those things. And there's room on our scorecard for that stuff. But one side is devoted to climbing, and it's also a full-blown climbing logbook for you, so that you can even track your climbing for your entire life. And our score sheet gives you a score for today, this week, this 7-week cycle, and then all 7-week cycles for any given year. And then we have a week of planned rest, active rest, in between those 7-week cycles. So the recovery is built in, it's all automated. Not only is it automated, here's the kind of revolutionary thing that I'm kind of proud of. But it's not only automated, but it's also got muscle confusion built into it. Because I like Excel, and the really great thing about Excel is you can tell the cells to do certain things with these formulas. So what I'll do, for example, is I'll have a list of chest exercises or climbing drills, climbing exercises. And on that list, I'll have this progressive thing whereby day 1 of week 1, for chest, you're doing a particular exercise, and then for day 2 of week 1, it will choose the next one down. And then the next week, it's choosing the 3rd one down and the 4th one down. The next week, so on and so on. You get the idea. So we've got the muscle confusion built in, even though it's automated, even though it's off the shelf and just ready to go for you. And it's, like I say, it's appropriate to your level, where you're at in training. And we think about those things when we write the WODs. So the WODs are there. The WODs also have an accompanying score sheet where you can write down what you do and then turn that into our staff, which is going to put it into our computer, which is going to do all the math for you. It's already done. We rewrote it. We upgraded it. Much more easy now to use our score sheets, because all you have to do is say, yeah, I did that route, and I'm working endurance, I'm working training volume, so I did that route 5 times. And over here, I did some boulder problems. I did this 4x4s here and 4x4 over there on these 4 boulder problems. So you'll do them more than once, some of these. And so you can just say, I climbed it 4 times. And then our formula is going to tally that for you when you turn in your scorecard to our staff. So you have professional tracking with our crew members doing that for you. Now, ultimately, this is going to be an app. So you'll be able ultimately, hopefully 6 months to a year from now, who knows. But ultimately, you'll be able to do this as an app where you're walking around doing all of that on your iPhone or your Android, and you can just carry that around in the gym. Okay. Also, our score sheets are for outdoor climbing too, and you can also log what you do at other gyms if you're traveling or what have you. Okay, so it's not specific to being at Treadstone Climbing Gym. You can use it anywhere. And in fact, the score sheet that's personalized to you with your name on it is actually a full functioning climbing logbook too. It'll even tell you how many days of sport climbing you did versus trad climbing this year. So, and all of that's really easy to do with Excel. All you're doing is tallying things into cells and columns. So it's all done. It's all ready. It's going live. And this weekend, we're uploading a couple of last things before what I call D-Day, which is Monday. D-Day is what I call the first Monday in January every year. I never make D-Day January 1 because then you have to think about your workout the next day when you're at your New Year's Eve party the night before. And I don't want you having to worry about your workout, thinking about what you're going to eat or drink that night. So just, enjoy the holidays. This New Year's Day happens to fall on a Friday. So I'm considering the holidays to continue into Saturday and Sunday, tomorrow and the next day. I'm still going to work out, but I'm not tracking relentlessly. I'm not doing ridiculous consistency yet. I will start doing hashtag ridiculous consistency on Monday, January 4th, which is what I call, again, D-Day. And we're gonna hit the ground running. We're gonna hit the beach, and we're gonna start that first 7-week cycle, and we're gonna do it right. Okay, last year, the first cycle of the year, I got a 100-point cycle, 100% cycle for 7 weeks. Didn't miss a rep, didn't miss a single minute of cardio that was planned. So that's what we call having a 100-point day or a 100-point week or a 100-point cycle. And if you get 100 points, of course, that's an A+. If you get 91 points, that's an A-. Well, hey, when I went to school, it was, all right? I don't know what they're doing now. It depends on the school. Sometimes you have to get a 93 or something to get an A. I don't know what they're doing. But in any case, that's how I look at it. And here's the cool thing about resolutions. And I say this every year, but it's worth saying every year. The cool thing about our program is that we have broken the code on how to get resolutions done. We have. Because here's how people fall off of that. They say, for example, they want to quit smoking. And so they quit smoking on January 1. January 14, they have 1 cigarette. And they're like, I failed. I guess I'm a smoker again. Fell off the wagon. Right? Well, you didn't fail. You got a B+. That turned your cycle for those 2 weeks, so far or whatever. Now you're at a B+. Okay? So I haven't done the math, so don't sharpshoot me on that. But something like that. So no, that's not an F. That's the key point. You did not fail. You got a B+. You got a B-. You got a C+. So what? Don't have a cigarette for the next week, and now we're back into B- territory. Don't have it for another week, now we're into B+ territory. Okay, you see how it goes? That's how goals are done. People aren't perfect. You are going to make mistakes. Mistakes are not what make you a failure. What makes you a failure is you make a mistake and you don't get back up again. All right? Keep putting one foot in front of the other no matter what's happening, and then that's how you're successful with these things. And it works for other stuff too, but I'm going to focus on fitness. Anyway, so that's what we do is we give you a score. This year, I want to try to have more of my cycles be 100-point cycles. I even have kicked around the idea of declaring to all of you, which I'm not brave enough to do just yet. We'll see how I feel on Monday. But I would love to think it's possible that I could have a 100-point year. And I mean, that's why I did the hashtag ridiculous consistency, because it's very hard to get 100 points. When I got that 100-point cycle, there were actually 4 days that I was in the gym at 2 o'clock in the morning on the treadmill or on my climbing walls, just to make sure that I got those in. So I had my 100-point day. And don't start saying it was after midnight. Okay, don't do that. We're not legalistic here. It's the spirit of the law. And so that's what I mean by hashtag ridiculous consistency. And that really did pop into my head every time I didn't feel like going and doing that thing. I would say, you know what, I'm just going to be ridiculously consistent, because that's how you succeed in fitness, and I guess really anything. Okay, so that's our scorecards. That's how we do those. We also have these leaderboards where if you're in the top 15 people, you're going to be put up on the big board as one of the leaders in 3 different categories: points, mileage, and unique sends. Okay, so if you're a climber, you know what we mean by unique sends. If you send a route or a boulder problem, that's a send. You don't get credit for sending it more than one time. Okay, so if you're doing a whole lot of unique sends, so let's say in a month you did 50 unique sends, you sent 50 unique boulder problems or routes, what that means is that you've chosen to get a lot of variety. You're not climbing the same routes over and over again just to do mileage and laps, which is good for endurance. But what's really good about doing unique sends is it gives you varied technique challenges. So now you're building your technique, your technical climbing movement ability. And if you're on the leaderboard for that, for unique sends, it also tells us that you can do a variety of boulder problems and routes with different types of unique movement. So it really does indicate to us that you're one of the leaders in technical ability. So this year we're going to do the top 15, not just the top 10. So there's a little bit lower barrier to entry to be on the leaderboard. I think that's pretty cool. Still a lot of work to be number 15. But on the website, we're also going to list just everybody who's turning in scorecards. So if you're number 115, okay, great. That still is helpful to you because you're not just like off the chart somewhere not being tracked. If you can say, well, okay, I'm number 115. I kind of expected that. I just started climbing, whatever. So now your 20-meter target, your short-term goal is to move up to be in the top 100. Get yourself into double digits instead of triple digits, right? So intermediate goals are super important. So that's why we're extending the leaderboard, and that's why we're also putting everybody who's turning in scorecards up there for everyone to see. And that's also accountability. It's not for shame and it's not for bragging rights, okay? It's for accountability. So that, well, okay, I'll give you an example. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is in two different ways this year. Two of the other new things that I'm doing personally is, number one, I'm going to turn in score sheets this year, all year, okay? From everywhere I travel, from climbing gyms I go to, if I go to Yosemite, I'm going to log that stuff too and send it in. So number one, it's that accountability. I'm also going to be putting up on my website at marksbasecamp.com and my personal Facebook page the workout that I do every day. So like on my Facebook page, I'm going to invite 1,025 people, I think that's where I'm at, to say, hey, Mark, you didn't run today. How come? You didn't put it up there where your run happened. So I'm going to do the accountability thing too. So none of this is for bragging rights or for shaming people as far as like putting people on the list. It's for that accountability. Okay, and that's super important. One of the most helpful things in climbing or exercise or really anything, once again. So also video tools and Mondays with Mark. Mondays with Mark is going to be probably videoized for most of those sessions. This was something I started doing years ago, and I used to break my neck to get back every Monday at 6:30 p.m. just to make sure I made it happen and was there personally to coach this class that I taught. Well, with my crazy travel schedule, it's almost impossible to do it. I mean, I'm away for weeks in other states and other countries and things, so it's very difficult to do that. But we can do the virtual thing. Like I say, we've got all these tools now, this podcast stuff, these weird selfie sticks that make me feel very self-absorbed when I'm walking around using something like that. I feel like a teenage girl. But in any case, we want to put that stuff up for Mondays with Mark and for the WODs, like the WODs that we have that you see on the website, the WODs that you can follow and fill out the score sheets for and then turn in to get on the leaderboards. All of that's all part of what we call the path. Okay, so just stay on the path. Stay on the path. That's our systemized tracking program, and we call it the path. So stay on the path. But all of that's on the websites, and some of that's going to be videoized. We're on YouTube at Treadstone Climbing. I am investigating Rumble, but for now we're at Treadstone Climbing on YouTube. But go there, and you'll see more videos this year. This is part of my resolution. You'll see more videos this year for the WODs. We're even going to do them with you to where we're like, timing every rep, doing every set, every rep with you, right? As well as classes where we're just talking about concepts, climbing adventures where, hey, we're going climbing on Saturday and we're just going to film ourselves with a drone and you're just going to share the experience with us and get motivated to stick with climbing so you can take your climbing goals outside. Just more of that kind of stuff. More blog posts. I have a tendency to start things and then get very sidetracked with everything else that's going on, which is easy to do, and it is understandable, but I'm going to be much more intentional, and I'm going to be inviting you guys to keep me accountable on it. More than that, though, we've got a really deep bench of managers now. We've got 4 of them in management who really, really are force multipliers for me and for themselves too. I mean, they come up with their own stuff all the time that rocks. Okay, so let me look at the list here real quick. Once again, Monday, January 4th, that's D-Day. Enjoy your weekend, extend the holidays out to Sunday night, and just be ready to hit the beach Monday morning on D-Day with Treadstone Climbing, Mark Heilemann, Mark with a C, and we will see you at Mark's Base Camp.